What up, shit? Timmy's here. Now, besides Theatrical, the summer saw a release of lots of really cool films for streaming. So I decided to go ahead and do a separate video where I talked about my top 10 favorite movies of streaming movies of the summer. Now, about two of these I technically saw in theaters, but since they are more streaming releases than theatrical, I decided to add them in my streaming list rather than the theatrical list. Which I'll when I go through that list, I'll tell you which one that's on theirs. All right. Number 10 is one I didn't really expect to enjoy as much, and that's a film called Family Affair. Now, this movie starred Zac Efron and Nicole Kidman as well as Joey King, who's like really hot commodity for Netflix. I think because obviously the Kissing Booth became hits. She also has that terrible looking movie Uglies, but I've always liked Joey King. If you guys have not seen when she played Gypsy Rose Blanchard on that show, The Act, go watch her on The Act. Well, how did she not win her Emmy Award for that? It's beyond me. I mean, Patricia Arquette won for that, but not Joey King. Like seriously, she was excellent on that one. If you guys don't know much about Family Fair, it's where like Joey King's mom ends up played by Nicole Kidman, or as we call her down at AMC, Hot Place, the AMC girl. Uh, of course, this is where like Joey King's boss is having an affair, like pretty much seeing Joey King's character's mom, and lots of hijinks ensue. It's a really decent, charming film. Liza Koshy was decent in this. You had Kathy Bates. It's a really decent film, worth giving a go. All right, what my number nine favorite film of my favorite streaming film of the summer is Delma the Unicorn, which is co-directed by Jared Hess, who's also the director of the upcoming Minecraft. He did Napoleon Dynamite. This is like pretty much a sing-like movie featuring the voice of Brittany Howard, from Alabama Shakes fame, who plays Delma, who dreams of a glamour, who's a dreams of becoming a glamorous unicorn. Then, in a rare like peak and glitter filled moment of fame. Delma's wish comes true, and she pretty much competes for like an American Idol type contest thing, and it's a really decent flick. Voice talents includes the likes of Will Forte, John Hader, or Hader. Speak of Napoleon Dynamite, Edie Peterson, Patterson. It's a really decent, charming one. Great music. Really has a little bit of like a Shrek mixed with Sing vibe. I mean, even there's a donkey in this that kind of looks like Eddie Murphy's donkey from Shrek. It's a really decent one, worth giving a go. All right, number eight, I'm going with the film The Instigators. Now this is of course directed by Doug Liman, who gave us the recent Roadhouse film. This of course is a heist movie starring Matt Damon and Casey Affleck. It's a lot of fun, worth going. Of course, it is a heist movie starring Matt Damon and Casey Affleck, who are these partners who thrown together for a heist, but um, when a plan goes where they pretty much learn to outrun the backward barricade and vengeful criminal boss. You had like Alfred Molina was in this. You had who else was in this one? Oh yeah, Ron Perlman, Jack Harlow, who was actually better in this than he was in that terrible White Man Can't Jump remake. Maybe he's just better as a supporting rather than a co-lead. Maybe. But I actually thought he was pretty solid in this one. Doug Liman, not as good as let's say his Roadhouse remake, but it's not a bad film. It's worth giving it a go. All right, number seven, I'm going with the Max film Turtles All the Way Down. Now this stars Isabel Mercedes, who, by the way, Isabel Mercedes is having an interesting career. She came onto the scene on this year with Madam Web, which is maybe one of the worst films of the year. And she's actually in like two of my favorite films of the summer. She's in Alien Romulus, which is one of my favorite streaming film or theatrical films, and she's in this, which is like one of my favorite streaming films. So, of course, Madam Web is in a different list, but well, I'll talk about that at the end of the year. Now, of course, if you guys don't know, this is actually based on a book by John Green. Who, if that name sounds familiar, is because other books like Fault in Our Stars and Paper Towns got turned into features. It's where Asa confronts her potential love, happiness, and friendship, and hopes while navigating an endless barrage of inversive, obsessive thoughts. And you also had Cree, what's her name? Kachino, who was in that and just like that series on Max. The kid from Genie in Georgia, Felix Millar's in this. He had some really cool supporting players. The direction is pretty decent. Not a bad little film. It's worth giving it a go. All right, number six, I'm going with Incoming. Incoming, which is of course a teen like a raunchy R-rated teen comedy. It's a lot of fun. It definitely brings me back to films such as American Pie, or Project X. I mean, you don't really see these like raunchy teen comedies anymore, and this one really brought those type of humors back to it with like a Gen X crowd. Obviously, it's not like gonna be one of the best movies of the year, nothing like that. But I thought the comedy definitely has some fun charm to it. Mason Dames from the Black Phone fame was pretty good in it. You also had like Bobby Cannavale, who else? You had Bobby Cannavale. Oh yeah, Caitlin Olsen from the Mick thing, which is from the same people who gave us the Mick, so it makes sense. But if you guys have not seen Incoming, definitely give that one a go. All right, number five, I'm going with The Idea of You. The Idea with You is another film I did not even expect to enjoy as much, but it's a really decent one. About like a mother who ends up falling in love with this Harry Styles like character, and Anne Hathaway really plays like her chemistry and the new He Man and her chemistry with the new He Man, was pretty good. Uh, yeah, again, I never read the books, I can't really comment on the book itself, but I actually thought it really had some charm to it. Now, this is actually one of the films I did technically saw in theirs, but since it is more of a streaming release, I am adding it in the streaming list, so take that for granted. So, but yeah, so it's a really decent one, worth giving a go. All right, number four and three are technically going to be documentaries, but hey, they're some movies, right? Number four is the documentary on the Beach Boys on Disney Plus titled, well, The Beach Boys. The Beach Boys is a really excellent one. Really showcase on who the Beach Boys was. I mean, it's not as good as the narrative feature with John Cusack that got released, but it is really decent and worth giving a go. It's really charming, or the music is really great. It'll make you become a fan of the Beach Boys. Like I used to always love the Beach Boys, but this one will definitely make you love them a little more. So yeah, definitely give the Beach Boys a go. All right, number three, I'm going with Jim Henson, Idea Man. Of course, this is a documentary about Jim Henson, and it's a really excellent doc. Really showcase on who Jim Henson was. You know, his life, his career. And it's really touching. You're definitely gonna need some tissues while you're watching this. And after seeing this, I hope we actually finally get a Jim Henson biopic in the future, because I think we finally need one. All right, number two, I'm going with Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. This is a film I wish I got to see in theaters, because I would love to have seen this one on the biggest screen. But the only theater that was showing it was down at 59th Street, and I was not going to travel no 59th Street. Was not really didn't really feel up to it, so I decided, forget it, I'll just watch it on streaming. Uh, but Beverly Hills Cop XOF is a lot of fun. It's maybe the best Beverly Hills Cop movie since maybe the original. Eddie Murphy still has it in him. The humor was really great. The cast of characters like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, uh, Kevin Bacon, Judge Reinhold, seeing him pop up was really cool. It's such a great one, worth giving a go. Whether we get more Beverly Hills Cop, that's what I say. And my number one favorite streaming film of the summer is another one I actually did saw in theaters. But again, since it's more of a streaming release, I'm gonna add it in my streaming list. and that is Richard Linklater's Hitman. Hitman is terrific. Glenn Powell literally gave an Oscar-worthy performance here. You also had the likes of Andrea Arjona from who's also in Blink Twice. Raider was great. It's really definitely a lot of fun to check out. Richard Linklater did a great job here. Glenn Powell was amazing. I really enjoy this movie a lot. It's actually even in my top 10 favorite films of the year so far. Who knows if it'll stay up there? That's where I see. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen Hitman yet, highly recommend it. It's a really great one. It's on Netflix. Give it a go. Crazy to believe it's based on a true story as well. But all right, that's pretty much it there. Here is my quick rundown. Number 10, A Family Affair. Number 9, Delma. Number 8, The Instigators. Number 7, Turtles All the Way Down. Number 6, Incoming. Number 5, The Idea of You. Number 4, The Beach Boys. Number 3, Jim Henson Idea Man. Number 2, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. And number 1 is Hitman. Now there's other ones that premiered as well. They actually waited to do this week because the Gary Coleman documentary premiered. That could have probably been my top. There's also Deliverance. Who knows if that's uh, but there are also some streaming films coming out this week, but who knows if they're gonna be all that great. The Gary Coleman one sure will be. All right, now other films that that I saw on streaming. Prom Date. Speaking of Jane Georgia, the girl from Jane Georgia was in that. Let's see. Definitely not Atlas. I just saw Stop Motion on streaming. Really good little horror from there. Definitely not Trigger Warning. Fancy Dance is really good. I Am Celine Dion. Uh, the Real Bros of Simi Valley. Lots of really good films. Not everyone was great. Atlas. Yeah. Here in a bit, I am going to do my top 10 worst movies in summer, so keep your eye out for that. And spoiler, Atlas is in that list. But let me let you guys. What are some of your favorite films of streaming that you saw this summer? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Sammy signing out.